Hello dears, welcome back to EachPage. I'm Sela, and this is episode 31, or episode 4 of season 4. And today we're talking about Kuroko no Basuke. Quick warning before I go into it, there will be some spoilers if you haven't watched the anime or don't know about the story. Kuroko no Basuke, or Kuroko's Basketball, is a sports shonen young adult anime, and it's based on the manga by Toshi Fuyumaki, with the anime directed by Tsunosuke Taro. And it follows the Seirin High basketball team, Seirin High, which you will constantly hear during the anime. So much that you will learn to pronunciate this. As a manga, it was originally serialized in Weekly Shōnen Jump, and the anime had 3 seasons aired, plus a movie that came out in March 2017. The story centers on Seirin, and it is a story led by Tetsuya Kuroko and Taiga Kagami. You follow them and their story as they face off against a legendary group of basketball players called the Generation of Miracles. All of this is with teenagers, in high school. And it all happens across the Inter-High Tournament and the Winter Cup, which, if you're a fan of Namaki Sakari, like me, then you know these are important basketball competitions. And I have seen them on that anime in the manga that I have read that have some sort of basketball in them. Alright. So the Generation of Miracles, who are they? These are gifted basketball players, and there are 5 or 6 depending on who is talking and who is telling the story. They were from the Teiko Junior High and were excellent basketball players. The first one, Taiki Aomine. He was Taiko's original ace, and then in high school he went to another academy. They all got separated, the Generation of Miracles. And physically gifted, and his gift or his trade was the agility, speed, and the freeform dribbles basketball play that he had. And he and Kuroko were the closest of teammates. Basically, they were best friends. And until, the amount of play that he could do, like, they became too good for anything. So that's the whole thing with the story, that all of them in the Generation of Miracles became so good that nobody could beat them, and Kuroko was not exactly as gifted of them in the sense of speed or playing fully to his potential. He played more of in the background, doing passes to the others. It's a whole story. I mean, I could be here explaining things from beginning to end, but I'm gonna continue with Generation of Miracles. The next one, Atsushi Murasakibara, is the one who towers over everybody, and he plays defense and shots blocking. And he's kind of lazy and almost childlike. Not my favorite of the characters in the anime, but yes, he was also like this big person, big teddy bear almost style, and everybody would believe that he was mean or anything like that, but in reality he just play his game and not really care about much of those. Now the next one, Ryota Kise. He went to Kaigo High, and he was the perfect copy. All of these abilities are almost fantasy-like, obviously. For example, Kise, it's that he could mimic any opponent's technique after seeing it just once, and that's how he became a great basketball player. But he also was mother-like, beautiful. He was really cocky and kind of a showman. So he was quick and actually maybe the nice one of the 5, because eventually he did respect Kuroko and Kagami, who they all face off in high school. The other one is Shintaro Midorima, who is the shooting guard, and he had some sick move and 3-pointers. If you know about basketball, then you know all of the terminology I'm using. I know some of basketball because I actually watched sometimes, not always, but from what I've seen in anime or in actual games. And yeah, Midorima, he's the 3-pointers. Basically, the whole core, he can shoot and make a point, and his accuracy is near perfect. And the thing about him is he's deeply superstitious, and he reads his horoscope daily and uses lucky charms. That paired with his looks almost makes him one of the most likable characters in the anime. And the last one is Seijuro Ashi. He's the point guard and captain, and he had the Emperor Eye, which essentially predicted the moves of his opponent, and that's how he became like the owner of all the others, and everybody catered to him. But obviously there's a bad story, and he's wealthy and raised flawlessly, and he was like a calm and composed leader until he wasn't, borderline went psychotic, and that's what you see on the anime. And Kuroko is like trying to bring down all of them, because the anime essentially is about a bunch of kids with extraordinary talents that borderline on fantasy, as I said, and they play so well that they master basketball, and then like nobody could win against them. And you go into the anime seeing how Kuroko tries to knock them off one by one, and he pairs up with saving couple of students and basketball players, and like in there to watch them try to beat them. Like, it's also about perseverance and trying to improve yourself, I suppose, if you want to look at the deeper meaning of it. But I did enjoy it a lot, to be honest. As you can see, I've been talking about it a lot. So how did I find this one? Because this is a rare one for me to watch. I found Kuroko no Basuke a long time ago. I watched this years ago, but it was a recommendation in Crunchyroll and in Netflix both. Their algorithm for some reason paired me up with it. I have no idea why. Probably because I watched Dragon Ball, or I don't know. I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen was out at that time. So my best guess is Dragon Ball. Either way, I clicked it and I watched it, and it was so much fun. And if you like high school life stories and basketball and following one character that is actually not entirely relatable but likable, more like that's Kuroko. And if you like seinen shonen titles, then this one like the perfect combination of all of that. The seasons go by fairly quickly since you can watch it all, which is what I did. I binge watched the whole thing, and I have rewatched it about 2 times, like in the background because I enjoy it, and I skip episode after if I already know what's gonna happen. But other than that, if I'm working, then I have something on, and this is one anime that I can totally have there like that. And yeah, that is all. I do warn you that if you look at the genres, like if you say, "Oh, this is for everyone," or "It's not for me," it's not for me because it's sports or shonen, then that hasn't happened to me because I don't usually look at what the genre of the title is, or I look at the description or the trailer or even the poster and decide from that. I'm very visual. I'm not alone on this, but if you think that maybe it's not for you, but you actually like it, there's majority of female readership and watchers. They according to some stats, like they push on this, that the shonen magazine, which is mostly for boys, they totally have a female readership and anime shows in this genre as well. So, I mean, don't let the marketing label dissuade you from watching. It's like almost not a thing for me. I do not care less. I could not care less about that. In any case, the manga. I did not read the manga fully. I started, but I have just finished watching the anime, and it was too much Kuroko all at once, and it's pretty similar in the first volume, and it was kind of redundant to me. So I suppose later on it would divert from that, but at the moment I didn't continue. But it would be fun to read it. I haven't yet. Also, if none of that convinced you, I do have one little fun fact for you. Did you know that the voice actor behind Aomine, that is one of the Generation of Miracles, he also plays Ryomen Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen, so you must know what that's like. And he also the voice of Undertaker in Black Panther. So if you listen to the original in Japanese and it sounds familiar, that's why. And that is very good selling point because it should convince me to keep watching. And I was like, I have heard this voice before, and like when I looked it up, I was impressed because completely different characters, but it has you recognize. Think of it like recognizing the voice of your favorite group, and then recognizing each voice. So yeah, that's what happened. And that's it for me, dearies. Thank you for sticking around while I talk about genres and anime that are not usually in what I review. And it was refreshing to watch this and to talk about something different to share with you. Kuroko's no Basuke, the full written review is on EachPage.org. You can find the link in the description box. And if you're enjoying the episodes of the podcast so far, don't forget to subscribe so you are notified once a new episode drops. Leave me a comment before you go. Have you watched Kuroko's Basuke? Or did you like it? Or are you watching it again anytime soon? Let me know in the comments. Thank you, dearest. See you on the next one.